as expected, there was nothing out of the ordinary in today's match between the Netherlands and New Zealand, because people expected New Zealand to win the game quite comfortably, and they won the game by 99 runs, which is a nice, very comfortable margin. Even after the first match which Netherlands played against Pakistan, they were actually in the game both with the bat and the ball. But I remember saying that, and the conversation was around, will the Dutch, the Netherlands, be able to keep that kind of intensity up against all these teams which are ranked above them? It's a very difficult task, and we knew that was not going to be an easy ask for Netherlands. And the difference between the quality of both the sides were very clear today, because it was a clinical performance from the New Zealand side, who were taking the game easy. Last time, Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra just made sure no one else is getting a chance to bat. But this time, more batters got some time in the middle. They also got to give little contributions. And especially, the way Mitchell Santner finished with the bat. From 17 balls, he scored 36 runs. That was nice, and he was unbeaten. And then he came on and took the first 5-wicket haul of this Cricket World Cup. I mean, those are the things that were, the takeaways from the match today. Because, you can say, oh, New Zealand won 2 games on the trot. They are on top of the table. Devon Conway is the first person to actually hit a century in this World Cup. Mitchell Santner got the first 5-wicket haul. And, Conway right now is actually leading the run getters chart, and Santner is on top of the wicket takers chart. Kind of those some interesting numbers which will change. But that's all. That's all what we can take away from today's game, and also the fact that the Netherlands team will have a very difficult task ahead of them. But if they can at least bring the kind of intensity they showed with the bat and the ball in game 1 to at least 4 to 5 matches, then they will have a good tournament, because they are punching above the weight, that's for sure. Now let's talk about what is in front of these teams in the next games that they will play. Netherlands will be taking on the mighty South Africans. Yes, that could be one of the lopsided matches of this tournament. Yes, we have seen some upsets in the past, especially in the 2020 format, but the thing with the one-day format is, the better teams, the visibly better teams, they will get a chance. Even if there is a small crumble, they'll get more time to actually recover and then come and dominate the game. So, South Africans will have a field day for sure. But what about the New Zealand side? They'll be taking on Bangladesh, and that's a tricky one. Yes, New Zealand is riding high on confidence after 2 wins, and the win against England would have done so much to their confidence. But don't just write off the Bangladesh side. The conditions right now with all the IPL and the teams going and coming, they know how the Indian conditions work. But again, it's similar to the Bangladeshi, the subcontinental conditions, quite similar to the Bangladeshi conditions. So I think they will have a little advantage. But if Bangladesh will be able to actually get that win over New Zealand, then they should be considered like the Sri Lanka of the 96 World Cup. I mean, you never know. That they then becomes the dark horses for this World Cup. But they will have to beat New Zealand and, with some dominating performances. But let's see how it goes. But before that, let's talk about tomorrow's games. Because the team in point, Bangladesh, will be taking on another big team, the defending champions, England, who will be licking their wounds, trying to make a strong comeback and say, we are still the defending champions, and that kind of statement. But if Bangladesh is able to pull something off, but if you're checking the teams, their strengths, whichever way you look at it, England is a much better side. With the bat, definitely. With the ball, see, with the addition of, players like Adil Rashid, you can't say, Bangladesh has a better spin bowling attack. You really cannot say. But maybe, all in all, if you're taking the entirety of the spin attack, Bangladesh may have a slight advantage. But the pacers and the batters, England, on top, definitely. But you never know. Maybe the Bangladeshi spinners will have something to say. Shakib Al Hasan and Mehdi Hasan Miraz. You never know how it's gonna go, but it's gonna be an interesting battle. That's a very interesting game I mean, two different ideologies, two different style of cricket will be clashing, and that will be always a great fun battle to watch. I hope Bangladesh team turns up tomorrow, because then the World Cup will be wide open. It will be more interesting. Let's talk about the second game. The second game is another favorites, Pakistan, who will be taking on Sri Lanka. And like in the last game, if you're just considering the spin bowling attack, Sri Lanka has a better spin bowling attack. But in all the other departments, you know, definitely advantage to the Pakistan side, especially with the pacers. Those guys are really fast and furious, man. Good fun side to watch, the Pakistanis. So Pakistan versus Sri Lanka. On paper, if you're just being black and white, you will say, okay, it should be England's game. It should be Pakistan's game. But if Bangladesh or Sri Lanka is going to pull a different game result out of the hat, it could really, you know, bring more color and more talking points and just branch out the way the World Cup is going to be played. And that will be great fun. Looking forward to an exciting day of World Cup cricket.